Tonight's game available on ESPN HD, presented by Olivia. Another beautiful, clear day here in Denver, and the Nuggets looking very good on the inside of the Pepsi Center in the third quarter, leading 64-45. Let's check out the Dodge storyline, the first half statistics, and you see the Nuggets shooting 54%. Cavaliers lucky to get to the line as often as they did to stay somewhat within touch in the middle of that first half. But the bench points, 23-10 for the Nuggets. That probably is the one thing that jumps out, John Barry, from the first half, the way Denver got contributions from that ever-changing bench that they had.
A slow night for Allen Iverson, just 10 points. Marcus Camby had 15, but the bench came in and provided a great lift. J.R. Smith, Eduardo Nahara, Nene, and Diawara. They did it moving the ball, 4 assists, each guy with an assist. They had 9 rebounds. They were 9 of 16 from the field. Everybody was involved, and everybody did a nice job.
And Bill, for the Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron, even though he had 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, where is the passion? Where is the commitment? Where is the leadership? This is a team, Cleveland, that has not had success against Denver of late. After losing 2 straight games, you got to come out and lay it all on the line. The most important elements are emotional and mental competition. We have not seen it from LeBron and his Cavaliers tonight.
And as we get the third quarter started, let's see what's going on with the Cleveland locker room, and let's check in with Kara Lawson.
Thanks, Mike. I talked with Cleveland coach Mike Brown, and very disappointed in the defensive end of the floor, as you might expect. He said, we're a team that draws its identity from our defense. We can't allow the Nuggets to continue to get to the rim. And I said, well, how do you change that? What adjustments do you make? He said, it starts on the ball. No direct drives to the basket. That creates layups, and it also creates kicks for open jump shots. Back to you.
And Kara, as you alluded to in the beginning, it's so important on the defensive end. That's where Mike Brown made his name as a coach in the NBA, as Ilgauskas comes across the lane for the first hoop of this third quarter to cut the lead to 17.
I'd like to see more of that. Ilgauskas, to me, doesn't get the ball enough. This guy can really score.
You have to command the ball. Right now, Cleveland is missing a golden opportunity. If they lose this game tonight, they're going to be tied with Washington.
Reggie Evans inside for the basket. Lead back to 19 for Evans, his 3rd field goal in 3 attempts tonight.
And home court advantage is so critical, and none of those Eastern teams have taken advantage of the fact that Shaq hasn't played yet this year. And Miami is basically a 500 team and right in the thick of things without the big man.
James power dribble comes down the lane, and he'll get free throws out of it, as he was fouled by Marcus Camby. Well, we'll talk about the records. Cleveland has the 7th best record in the NBA, but first in the Eastern Conference. You have 6 Western teams, Dallas, Phoenix, San Antonio, LA, Utah, and Houston ahead of the Cavs at this point.
The biggest surprise in that group, Los Angeles Lakers.
I agree,
with the injuries to Lamar Odom and Kwame Brown, for that team to be able to come in, hang in there, Phil Jackson, what a job.
I agree. I don't know how they're doing it. I really don't.
They play as a team. They play very hard. They're in outstanding physical condition. The individual agendas have been pushed to the side.
Good win Wednesday at San Antonio, but then Dallas beats them last night. Dallas rolling, Phoenix rolling. They won 12 in a row. Hey, Phoenix and Washington hook up here coming up this week, and that's a rematch of a great game that y'all had on an NBA Friday out in Phoenix a month and a half ago. Iverson fouled by Snow in the act. 2 free throws coming.
That was the game that Gilbert Arenas said he was going to get 50 beforehand against Mike D'Antoni after getting cut from the national team. He had to score 54, including the game winner.
That's pretty tough. You say I'm going to go get 50 and get 50.
Well, the only guy who could do that was Wilt Chamberlain.
We have 2 guys on the floor here who've had 50-point games, and Allen Iverson, speaking of points, and Wilt on his way to 20,000 points. It will probably happen in the next 2 or 3 games, and Iverson will do it in 712 games in all likelihood, 713. That'll be 6th quickest in NBA history, and that's a pretty impressive statement as you looked at all those names. Obviously, the little guy on that list, as Iverson is in so many of these career scoring lists. Yet another milestone out there for AI.
Speaking of milestones, I was in attendance as a youngster when John Barry's dad, Rick, went for 64. And that was quite the game. Good to see your dad here tonight, John.
Rick sitting in the stands behind us. Snow with the jumper. And able to go in. So Eric Snow, whose offense has not been seen as much, he has to take his open shots when the opportunity presents it. Blake bounce pass to Iverson. But Steve Blake has really shown in his games here, and even in Portland when he started to play well with Juan Dixon, the ability to keep that dribble alive, and that's going to benefit Iverson and Anthony coming up.
5 assists now for Steve Blake. Steve Blake had a career year last season in Portland.
No turnovers as well. That's very important.
Snow takes it, doesn't make it. Evans with the rebound, his third.
But he's starting to play a little bit like Steve Nash, the way he just sort of runs all around in the grand circle play, that he just goes underneath the basket and comes back out.
Nice ball movement. Hamby and one. And nice job by Iverson. If this was a hockey game and the Avalanche were playing, you could give 2 assists on that play. Both deserved.
The grand circle play where it gets Iverson wide open. And we were talking to Steve Blake prior to the game tonight. He was saying that Allen Iverson and Gilbert Arenas, the 2 best players he's ever played with. And what stunned him about Iverson was how willing Iverson was to do whatever it took to help Steve play better. Now, Allen went over to Steve and said, look, how can I help your game come alive?
I think that's been the most surprising thing about Allen Iverson, if you ask George Karl and all his teammates.
Tough pass off the rim there for Larry Hughes.
Is how positive he's been.
Blake kept it alive. Hughes a 3. Gooden trying to sky and score at the same time, and it finally ends up with an Ilgauskas basket. Not the prettiest possession ever, but it's a 20-point game.
There's no direction out here for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Somebody's got to step up.
Worse yet, no passion.
Plays up, pitches to Blake. Snow closes out. Blake on the drive. Knew he was off. Trying to go back up and get it. And he took it away from Ilgauskas to allow Camby to get the layup.
Stevie B, they call him here now, I guess, huh?
So excited. We all are to see what this team's going to look like come Monday when Anthony returns. There'll be a foul inside. And Kara Lawson, it's been a very busy 8 days for Steve Blake.
Yeah, Mike, it sure has. And you talk about over a week ago being traded from Milwaukee, and I talked to Steve about it. He said, I was just going into practice. I found out I was traded. He said, I had to leave my wife and son back in Milwaukee to pack up. He said, they arrived here Monday in Denver, and everyone talked about the 3 days in between the games for the Nuggets to get acclimated. Well, Steve Blake and his family found a place to live for the rest of the season.
The small stuff that when you see a transaction, you don't think about the real life part of it. Gooden over Glazer, missed it.
Mike, most of these Nugget players live downtown in this fabulous urban environment that the Mile High City provides. But Steve is a big animal lover. He's got a couple of dogs and a cat. So he's got a place now just down 20 minutes south of town so the animals can have a place to run around.
Reggie Evans with the hoop. It's a 24-point lead. I just didn't know where you're going with that. Big animal lover.
But you have to have a place for the dogs to go outside.
I understand. I had this moment of fear running through my body. Hughes.
Offensive foul. Wave it off. Going the other way.
This Cleveland team is in shambles.
Well, Reggie Evans has provided some of the energy on the flip side of that, John. This is one of the better Denver efforts. We've seen the Nuggets here 3 of their last 4 home games and watched them a bunch leading up to this. And this is one of the better efforts they've had in this 15-game stretch since the fight at Madison Square Garden.
It all came together for Denver in that third quarter at Portland.
Yes.
And one of the unique harmonic convergences ever. Both of these teams' previous opponents was the Portland Trailblazers. Denver spanking him, and then the Blazers just absolutely trouncing Cleveland.
Larry Hughes with the hoop. It's 22 now. Eric Snow and Allen Iverson, teammates for really a half dozen years in Philadelphia. Glazer, the 3.
The Nuggets now 50% from the three-point line. This is the second worst three-point shooting team in the league at 31%.
Denver, John, has lost 7 of their last 9. That's a forced shot by LeBron. And when I'm looking at LeBron right now, I just see stoicism. I see the placid face. And that's not good. It's been that way the last couple of games, I'm told, from the Cleveland people who are following this team.
Reggie Evans putting on the full arsenal of his repertoire here tonight. 25-point lead halfway through this third quarter. One more game on the trip for the Cavaliers at Golden State, and then they head home. And we talk about a back-to-back as Evans picks up his second foul. You'll have Denver playing Houston, and then they come home Monday to play Memphis. That's when Carmelo Anthony returns. And there is a lot of talk around Denver about George Karl's team to see what it will look like to get those two potent scorers together in the lineup. And really, that's the way the last week and a half has been played by Denver, waiting for January 22nd to arrive. Ilgauskas.
Carmelo and AI, that'll be the least of George Karl's problems. He needs the productivity from the front court players, Camby, Nene particularly. And then you've got to get either Reggie Evans and Nahara going.
Oh, Iverson so quick to the basket, and Larry Hughes.
They need a timeout immediately. Larry Hughes can't even get up the court.
And the timeout is taken. Hughes, who returned from left quad tendonitis, also missed 10 games with a right ankle sprain in November, as Bill talked about, in some pain there. Nuggets shooting 57%, leading by 25.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Friday, brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. And Jack in the Box, where we don't make it till you order it.
Denver has its largest lead of the night. It's 25. Cover story ESPN, the magazine, written by Rick Bucher, about Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson together. You'll see that starting on the floor on Monday. They talk about these two guys who can average 30 a game. Here's AI talking about what he can mean to Melo's future.
This is what I've been through in my career. I know I can help him definitely on the basketball court as well, because the attention won't be on him as much as it used to be, and vice versa. You know, guys can't double and triple team me like they used to with him out on the basketball court. You have to respect him. So, you know, that's going to be, I think, the funnest part of it all. You know, just having that weapon on your team that can explode at any time. And that's something that I never had before.
Through this suspension, the league suspension rules, as Eric Snow gets the layup, does allow Carmelo Anthony to practice with the team. And that break in the schedule, Denver didn't play for 3 or 4 days there, gave them an opportunity to practice a little bit more with Iverson and Carmelo Anthony together on the same team. And Allen told us this morning that it's really easy and really fun.
Offensive foul, backing in. But Allen Iverson has never had a teammate near his equal, and now this will be the greatest guy on the same team that he's ever had. The numbers, Anthony leading the NBA in scoring. Iverson, the numbers have been down a little bit, but still number 3 in the league. The field goal percentage, Allen Iverson shooting very well in the months that he's been here in Denver. That's been dropped down on the season-wide basis based on the numbers in Philadelphia.
Gooden working on Reggie Evans is short. Reggie gets the rebound. For Evans, it's 5 tonight to go with his 8 points.
I think Bill hit it on the head, though. It's going to be this front line for the Nuggets. Those two are going to play great together. You know, the biggest problem of this...
That was a pass.
I don't know what that was.
That was a very nice pass by Marcus Camby.
Evans, short, rebound Jake.
The problem of this suspension was the timing. The Denver Nuggets had 11 of 14 games at home. Now, they're going to finish with 13 of 18 on the road. They've only played 15 road games this season. And this was a time for them to make some hay. You got 11 of 14 at home. You want to make a run.
Barrage out, blocked by Camby. Evans comes away with it. 3 on 4. Blake will pull it back. You're right, John. This Denver team 10-10 at home, 8-7 on the road thus far this year.
But the best team right now in this conference has been, this division is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Even though they lost tonight, the loss of Kevin Garnett due to the ejection really cost them their chances.
They're better than Utah?
Thank you.
Lately.
Oh,
they're playing the best ball lately.
Yeah, they are playing well. I tell you what, I watched Utah-Detroit the other night, and Darren Williams, he's going to be a special player, and he already is. Terrific player.
He should be in the All-Star game if only Andre Kirilenko would come alive for Utah.
Here the lead remains at 23. Kirilenko was called out by the owner of the Jazz, Larry Miller, today on Utah radio, and Evans, trying to collect it, was fouled. You know, guys, there's been a lot of talk of, okay, Carmelo's averaging over 30 a game. Iverson has and certainly can talk about high-scoring duos in NBA history. Will Chamberlain being a part of the two numbers in 61 obviously skews it. Elgin Baylor and Jerry West doing it together, but then you had Baylor missing part of that season with military service. So we really haven't seen players play together and score 30 points each. Some people question if it can happen, and it depends on distribution of shots amongst the rest of the team in addition to the two-star players.
But should that really matter, whether they average 30? That is about stats.
Yeah.
That's about fantasy dreams. Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony, they have to be about winning. Isn't that what George Karl's about here? And here's a guy who's battled through cancer, who's just been having all kinds of problems. His son's had cancer, and it's not going to be about numbers and money anymore for these guys. No, it's only about the big victories.
8 to shoot. Iverson comes in the lane after the Daniel Gibson three. Can be missed. Nahara saves to Iverson.
The only potential problem that I see is who gets the shot at the end of the game. And I think that'll be a night-to-night. Wow. It's going to be a night-to-night thing where whoever's got it going might be that guy. But they don't care. They want to win. And that's the bottom line.
Timeout. Nuggets by 20. Thank you, Fred. So the Knicks will have to try to bounce back from that when they visit the Pacers tomorrow, and that will be on NBA TV. Coverage beginning at 7 Eastern. Checked in with my Pacer contact. Sounds like the Pacers will have their new players in the lineup for that one. ABC, it's NBA Sunday on ABC, starting with a rematch of the NBA Finals. Dallas in Miami. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern. TNT on Thursday will have the Mavericks in Chicago, followed by the Nets and Clippers. And in your planning, keep us in mind on Wednesday. We'll be in San Antonio to watch Houston take on the Spurs.
I'm still waiting for that New Jersey Nets team to take off. Do you think it could happen?
Yes. Only if they all play with the regular enthusiasm and industriousness of Mikey Moore. And I never thought I would say that.
Just playing well.
Playing fantastic.
Very well.
Former teammate of yours?
Former teammate. What do you think?
It's like a 1 in 4 chance. It's great. I love it.
Gee, you're brilliant.
Here's James at the top of the key. LeBron missed it. James is 6 of 16 shooting tonight. He has 17 points, 0 for 3 here in this third quarter. Denver's lead has been as large as 25 tonight. Can be. Marcus with 22 points and 10 rebounds, another double-double.
He's been averaging over 18 rebounds a game over his last 3. And you said earlier, Mike, he had 24 rebounds against Houston last week.
Playing like an all-star performer, but will he earn that spot over Amari Stoudemire?
Danielle Marshall the 3 to make it 21. And it was an interesting story out here this week. A survey of the Western Conference coaches just to get a sense, will Carmelo Anthony be added to the NBA All-Star team by the coaches, given that he missed 15 games with the suspension? And most of the coaches in that survey believe that he would be. Iverson lost it.
13 of the 14 said yes. The only guy who didn't say anything was Eric Musselman. LeBron James, just dynamic in the open court. But ask yourself this question. If a reporter from a town calls you up and says, hey, do you think our guy's going to make the All-Star team? Wouldn't you just automatically just say yes?
No, I think the coaches would do more. We know this guy's going to be in All-Star Weekend in Las Vegas, obviously. Fan vote. I think
but if you say no,
honestly answer.
If you say no, then the fans are just all in your face. And then Carmelo looks at the guy and says, I'm going to get 40 or 50 in your face. And all you have to do is just say yes, and the story is closed.
Why did Musselman vote?
He did not want to get involved in the speculation. And I give him credit for that.
Well, Carmelo Anthony better be there. That's all I'm saying.
Nahara with 8 to shoot, throws it away.
I'm not sure if he's played enough games. And the guy who I really want to see, who really deserves it, Josh Howard.
This was
Dallas Mavericks.
This was deflected off a Cavs, so it stays down here with 7 to shoot.
Josh Howard is playing at a level that is unparalleled for an off player in a team that's built around Dirk Nowitzki in the offense.
So does he go over Sean Marion?
I think you have a lot of players from Phoenix.
Yeah, I agree.
Nash for sure. What about Marion? Amari Stoudemire, I think, has to be in there. There's only 12 spots.
10 to shoot for James. This is down to 18. If Cleveland can come up with some scores and stops, they can make the fourth quarter interesting, and they'll get free throw opportunities as James is 6 for 6 on the line. He'll get back
a little emotion there from LeBron.
Speaking of making it interesting, how about Indiana at the end of that game last night at Miami?
Right, exactly.
They were totally out of that game.
That's just what I was thinking, Bill. Yeah, I was ready to give up on the game as well. Like kind of 15, 17, and then hang around ability. So LeBron, who turned 22 on December 30th, has the mark for 7,067 points, the most before age 22, and obviously it's a skewed stat because you have so many guys coming right in from high school only recently, but still, Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, 1 year of college, went to Syracuse and they won the national championship that year. I don't know if you remember that. And then, of course,
I remember Syracuse winning that championship. They had a very good team. That guy, Jim Boeheim, can really coach.
2003, they won, yeah. Carmelo gave $3 million this year to help build a new practice facility for Boeheim up in Syracuse. Iverson with the hoop. Allen, former Big East star, has 20.
Mike, where'd you go to college again? I forget.
Syracuse, Bill.
Oh,
thanks. Danielle Marshall, another Big East guy from Connecticut, misses. Rebound by AI.
Cleveland can hang in this game. Denver will give up some leads now. They had a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter against the Atlanta Hawks last month. But this team doesn't hold the lead as Iverson dances with Damon Jones.
And Smith hoists a quick three when the shot clock was off and you could have kept it for the last shot. Now you give Cleveland an opportunity to get it to 16 or 15.
And if you focus in on J.R. Smith, he is fading into his pose and looking at the crowd as opposed to sticking to his follow-through, and the Nuggets dodge a bullet there.
He got bailed out as Danielle Marshall missed the three. Marcus Camby leads Denver with 22. Iverson has 20. LeBron has 22, 7 boards, 6 assists. But not getting much help on this night. The Nuggets lead by 18. Denver Nuggets care about the community, I should say. The entire Nugget team is on hand for the team's annual bowling ball event at Lucky Strike Lanes. Players, coaches, front office staff joining fans. A fun-filled night to raise funds for Kroenke Sports Charities, benefiting local Colorado organizations. Melo is there, AI, the whole crew. NBA Cares, continuing a tradition of basketball and service to the community. Off we'll go to the fourth quarter here in downtown Denver. Mike Tirico, Bill Walton, John Barry, Kara Lawson. Denver leading Cleveland by 18.
Nice to see AI get to the bowling event here in Denver, because wasn't it the bowling event that he missed in Philadelphia that began the demise that eventually led to the realization that they had to part ways with the 76ers?
That was part of the story. You're right, Bill. Before this fourth quarter gets going, let's check in with Kara Lawson.
Well, I listened into George Karl's Nuggets timeout, Mike, and the thing that he wanted to implore his team was to keep the tempo fast but continue to play smart. He said, penetrate, get in the lane, continue to pass the ball like you did in the first half. So no signs of letting up offensively for the Nuggets.
And Kara, those fourth quarter leads they've blown certainly on everyone's mind. Nene looked to attack the backboard on that one.
A little explosion.
Free throws.
A little explosion there by Nene. Maybe that's something that he needed. You know, that he knows he can still do that. Clear his mind, because it's all on his mind right now. I know his knee's hurting him, but you got to dance with what brung you, right? Isn't that what they say?
Your knee hurting is not in your mind, believe me.
It's in your mind.
Well, yeah, your mind tells you that it's hurting, but...
So forget about it. Rub some dirt on it. Let's go.
It doesn't quite work that way. How many knee operations have you had?
None.
I've had 5.
I couldn't jump anyway, so it didn't matter if I had any knees or not.
Ask your dad how the knee injury changed his career.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Nene goes 1 for 2 at the line. The lead is 19. You have until January 21st, that's Sunday, to send your favorite player to Las Vegas. Log on to NBA.com. Fill out your ballot for the 2007 NBA All-Star Game. You can vote daily in 20 different languages. Nahara defending James. And put back in by Varejao on the weak side.
Nahara Lennis Kleza. They've done tremendous defensive work tonight on LeBron James, who really hasn't been able to make any game-breaking plays. LeBron 7 for 18 on the evening. That's a foul on Andy Varejao. Two Brazilians going at it. Even though they're from the same country, they didn't grow up in the same area.
There's Rick Barry in the audience.
Mike, do I have your permission to tell a story about Rick?
No, but you're going to anyway.
No,
so go ahead.
no,
No, come on, Billy, go ahead. You're the Hall of Famer. You're like Rick. Go ahead.
Love Rick Barry. At the Michael Jordan adult basketball camp in Las Vegas every summer, where all the greatest coaches of the day are all there. I took a poll this summer of who they would want on the free throw line when you had to make two at the end of the game in the history of basketball. And it was near unanimous that Rick Barry would be everyone's choice.
Varejao.
How many votes did Reggie Evans get?
You know what's interesting? I mean, how many guys with free throw shooting trouble have not given the Rick Barry method, the underhand free throw shooting method, a chance to work? Because it might have been a cure for something.
Because they don't want to look like wimps.
Rick offered to help Shaq.
Yep, he sure
and
did.
Shaq turned him down.
3 to shoot for LeBron, watched by the rookie Diawara, but Kuba didn't give him any space to rise up.
But Rick used to shoot him overhand, and it was his father, John's grandfather, that convinced him, look, you want to be a great free throw shooter, put him up there underhand.
Offensive foul on J.R. Smith.
My brother Brent actually did it 1 year in college.
Did he?
At Oregon State. I believe he shot around 74% or something. Nothing to write home about.
This Cavs team has been struggling offensively throughout the year, and free throws one place where they struggle. They are last in the league, shooting 69% from the line.
You know, Denver, not known for great defense, but I'll give them credit tonight. They're playing better defense, and George Karl was really happy with them the other night in that third quarter that you were talking about, Bill, where they scored 41 but gave up 17. And it's not often that they play on both ends that well. But we've seen them play pretty good defense.
This has been a fantastic game. Remember, they were doing very well before the suspensions after the melee in New York 36 days ago.
Smith a 3.
They fell apart. Maybe that Portland game will be the impetus to get them back on track. And then on Monday night against Memphis here, the 22nd, when Carmelo comes back, who knows, it might all click at one time. Offensive foul, wave it off, Greg Lillard.
Eduardo Nahara just waiting for Danielle Marshall on the drive. And a pretty easy foul call there.
The overhead view. Oh, he's got his foot on the right foot on the line.
I think it was out before the contact. I think it was out
Scott Wall. Scott Wall missed it.
No, I thought it was out before the contact.
Oh, it was?
The contact knocked him back into the line.
I did. Nene, twisting, turning, travel. We asked Anderson Varejao before the game about Nene and how the two know each other. Varejao is 24, same age as Nene, both from Brazil. They didn't play. They were obviously different parts, or I should say obviously. They were in different parts of the country. They didn't get to know each other. Anderson's brother played for a time with Nene, and then in Uruguay, in a tournament, the two club teams that they both played for went head-to-head. That's how they got to know each other. Varejao the hoop, and messing around here, it's a 14-point game.
Nene is from Sao Paulo, which is one of the largest and most dynamic cities in the entire world. Varejao, a small island called Victoria, which is a 45-minute flight from Rio.
Look at him get to the ground, and it could be 12 or 11. And the anxious sound here. Oh, they say Nahara got a piece of the ball. James was out of control. Iverson to Smith.
Oh, my goodness.
And the foul.
Whoa.
The 8th assist of the night for Allen Iverson. Cleveland getting close, thinking about a push. Smith rises up and have a chance for the three-point play after this timeout. The Nuggets by 16.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Friday, brought to you by GMC, engineered to the highest standard, professional grade. State Farm, great service, great rates. It's all here. Nobody takes care of you like State Farm. And Papa John's. Order pizza online 24 hours a day at papajohns.com.
All right, Fred, throughout that timeout, LeBron James sitting on the bench, really disgusted look on his face. John, we had a key stretch of the game here. It could have become a tighter game for Cleveland.
Had a chance to cut it to 12 as LeBron tries to go behind the back. His right foot slips out. They had a 4-on-2 break. Could have cut it to 12. Instead, if J.R. Smith makes his free throw, it goes to 17.
And then during the timeout, LeBron just sat there with this dazed, confused look on his face. I have not seen LeBron tonight be encouraging to his teammates, to be supportive of, hey guys, let's get going. How about let's push up on defense? How about let's take control of the backboards? How about we do what we can to punish this soft Nugget team inside? And LeBron, in this half, 1 for 6 shooting, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists after being down 19 at the half.
Beautiful pass to Varejao there, makes it 94-79. It has been a year where LeBron, last year, it's like every time he put on the Cavs, LeBron dominated almost on a night-in, night-out basis. It hasn't felt that way. His stats are slightly down, but he's taking fewer shots this year. Nene, an air ball, and back comes the rookie Daniel Gibson out of Texas.
And the team, the Cavaliers, are playing at a slower pace this year as the rest of the league is going wild in terms of the up-tempo game. LeBron, a nice second chance opportunity stick back.
They had 24, 9 boards, and 7 assists.
Just 13. 7.5 to go. Plenty of time.
Marcus Camby going to come back in at the next whistle for the Nuggets, who have J.R. Smith, Iverson, Nene, Steve Blake, and Nahara. Smith using his size on Gibson. Draws the contact and a foul coming. We talk about LeBron James and the numbers this year compared to last year. Remember the 2 rounds of the playoffs, the Team USA responsibilities, a very short offseason, and the numbers have come down about 4.5 points, just slightly under, but I think we're spoiled by how good he was, how unbelievable. That line of this season, that's a great year. Yep. Those are MVP-type numbers.
The only guys in history who have put up numbers like that, Oscar Robertson and Larry Bird. Oscar did numbers like that 8 straight years. Larry Bird did it 4 years.
With Smith at the line for one more. What you didn't see in those James numbers, he's taking about 3 fewer field goal attempts, and he's getting to the line about a time and a half less. So you're talking there another 4 or 5 points if he took the same number of shots he did last year. And that speaks to what Bill was talking about with the offensive change. Marshall hits the 3, 12-point game with 7:11 to go.
Sorry, Bill. He's getting 27 a game, shooting 47.5%. Right. I mean, you're right. I mean, the expectations are so high after the incredible year he had last year.
Iverson, great take, better pass. Can be the dunk.
Denver has to be extremely careful about not getting conservative. That's not the way these guys are ever going to win. It's not George Karl's design.
Iverson has 9 assists. James tried to draw the foul in the shot. Found Varejao while in the air.
Too many head fakes.
1 to shoot. Jones will take it. And make the 3.
Damon Jones, one of the most well-traveled players in the history of the NBA. This is his 10th team.
Yes, Mike, I played with him twice. All right.
Twice?
2 different teams.
2-11 here.
Got to get a stop here now. Got it to 11.
Corner pick for Camby.
And then you give a guy a wide-open 10-foot shot.
Marcus Camby has played an outstanding game from the opening tip. He took it right to Ilgauskas. He's got a season-high 26 points. Great defense again.
Camby in the air. Smith has Iverson running with him. Very tough pass. It's a very few players could haul in and keep alive. Still 10 to shoot, plenty of time. Iverson comes off the Camby screen. Halfway down with a triple. Nuggets have scored 100. They have not won a game this year when they've been under 100. 0-13, so.
And they're 18-4 when they are above 100.
And LeBron James will get to the free throw line for attempts 9 and 10 after this timeout. Marcus Camby, who had a season high in rebounds last Friday, has a season high in points here tonight with 26. Thank you, Fred. We will see Phoenix at Cleveland on ABC in a couple of weeks, but on Sunday, NBA Sunday on ABC, is a rematch of the NBA Finals. The Dallas Mavericks return to Miami. Dirk Nowitzki taking on Dwayne Wade. Mavs and Heat. The coverage begins with GMC. NBA Sunday Countdown at 12:30 Eastern on ABC. It's available in high definition on ABC HD, and then Mike Green, Mark Jackson, Michelle Tafoya will have the game for you, tipping off at 1. What a great way. Sunday's an awesome day with the 2 football conference championship games, and what a great way to get ready for that with a terrific rematch of the NBA Finals of 06.
Miami's coming, and the fact that they have played 500 basketball without Shaq, with all the problems that they've had, Riley being out, Dwayne Wade missing games.
Yeah, they played Philly well today.
Second night of a back-to-back. They played.
Oh, come on, it's Philadelphia.
Philadelphia
Philly
won tonight, 98-95 in overtime. The worst team in the East, Philadelphia, getting its 11th win. They are 11-29.
That is going to be a fun game. Last year's champions playing this year's champions.
On the steal, here's LeBron, fouled by Blake.
And a very smart foul by Steve.
It was a good foul. But did you hear that? I said last year's champions are going to play this year's champions.
Let's see. You're talking about a clear path foul here or not. Just making sure what the call will be.
He's
in front of him.
He's ahead of it.
Well, the officials had the conversation about it.
See, you know what? I never got one of those calls.
Well, thank you.
Wait a second. That's the wrong call. I never had one of those called against me because my nose was always past the offensive player. It was great. I could be at half court. It'd be easy.
Huge spot in the game here, guys. This will get it to 10. James has hit all 11 free throws. Last time it was this close was 33-23.
This is the wrong call. He's clearly in front of him.
Yes. It's an eternity of time left. And nice to see LeBron rebounding from the disappointing free throw shooting night in Portland.
As he plays.
LeBron 6 for 13 in the last game against Portland when they lost to the Blazers by 18 points. 11 for 12 for LeBron on the night.
How do you miss 7 free throws?
I missed 12 in one game.
Did you really?
Including 3 air balls.
So after the clear path foul with the 2 free throws, Cavs possession, they can cut it to single digits with 5:08 to go, and they have worked their way back into this one. Daniel Gibson out there with James, Jones, Varejao, and Danielle Marshall. LeBron tries to take over, couldn't make the layup.
You know what? I always thought that should be goaltending. A guy smacks the backboard. It's never called.
It should be goaltending.
Good hustle by the rookie Gibson, who had possession, gets the timeout. James hit the deck, and he is shaken up on the play. So as the ball was down, and at first look, it was Gibson who had it, and then LeBron went down. And he rolls over onto his back. Get a look there and see how LeBron got tangled up in there. Yeah.
His ankle.
So we'll check on him when we come back. Okay, back here in Denver, LeBron James did get up. A nasty-looking injury. Watch his right foot as it gets pinned underneath J.R. Smith.
That just is bending all the wrong way. And no wonder LeBron James face down on the floor, but he's up and appears to be all right. We can only hope.
That could have been really, really severe. For the moment, LeBron will remain on the bench.
He's already headed to the scores table.
You can check himself back in here as Hughes comes off the bench, and Larry goes inside, can't get the layup. He crashes hard onto his right side and draws free throws. Lots of free throws for the Cavs here in this fourth quarter.
Daniel Gibson makes it all happen. His heady play pokes the ball free, and then LeBron trying to get back into it. He's taken down by J.R. Smith, who seems to be involved in every play.
What amazes me that guys don't get hurt more often. I mean, if you think about the speed and athleticism, you would think every night something would go down. I mean, just a simple play right there. guys colliding in the air, falling hard. I mean, it's amazing.
And in the compressed area of the court. I mean, players have gotten bigger, stronger, faster, and the court is still the same dimension as Hughes rims out the first.
I think they should widen the court by 4 feet and leave the three-point line where it is.
LeBron really grimacing here. You know, a lot of times if you do turn your ankle or something like that, tonight he'll be able to get through it because he's warm and he's loose. But tomorrow, he won't be feeling warm and loose as they get to open.
This free throws down the stretch here for Cleveland costing them dearly. And Golden State not playing tonight, you know they're going to want to run like crazy. Kickball, Baruchel. Dene has looked better tonight than he has in any of the 3 games that we've been here over the last 2 weeks.
Damon Jones checks back in for Larry Hughes. LeBron, as you mentioned, still grimacing.
Yeah.
Blake to trigger. Blake, Iverson, Camby, Nene, J.R. Smith. 14 off the kick. And the turnover as Iverson brought it into traffic. So here comes LeBron.
It looks okay.
Tough matchup here for Camby on that switch.
Yeah.
It's really slowed him down.
It's the basketball analgesic. Just give me the ball. The pain goes away. It is an 8-point game. It was 19 just a short time ago. Smith with a hoist.
Horrible shot.
Marshall tries to keep it alive. Camby hustles to get to Blake a 3.
Second chance opportunity. Killer right there.
Mike Brown wanted Blake out of bounds and not reestablished back in. Not called. Lead 11. Marshall a triple. Back to 8. So the three-point line friendly to the Cavaliers here in this second half. They are 8 of 16 shooting the 3 for the game. Iverson.
As a big man, you would love to play with Allen Iverson. The number of offensive rebound opportunities that would be yours, just remarkable.
Jones a 3. Go! 5-point game.
We got a game. What did I tell you, Mike? Denver will let you back in it. A lot like the Phoenix Suns. No lead is safe.
The Denver Nuggets, who've blown 7 fourth-quarter leads on this season, have seen the Cavs go 5 of 5 from the 3. Nene missed the dunk, but a foul.
Good foul.
Both teams in the bonus. The three-point line, a friend to the Cavs here as they try to bounce out of the doldrums. They really had him for 2.5 games on this West Coast trip with a good fourth quarter. 5-point game, 2:58 to go. Free throws coming for the Nuggets when you come back. Back here on ESPN HD in downtown Denver at the Pepsi Center. What a comeback for the Nuggets, for the Cavaliers, I should say. Our GMC Game Track, Allen Iverson, 22 points, 9 assists. They had a very nice, balanced game here this evening. LeBron James has come on here in the second half, getting to the free throw line a lot. A rebound shy of his first triple-double of the season. The Cavs have outscored the Nuggets by 13 in this fourth quarter, erasing a big lead with about 10 minutes left. And now we have a tight one, 5-point game. Nuggets free throws coming with 2:58 to go. Talk about this, Bill. Denver has given up 7 fourth-quarter leads, many of them in the pre-Iverson Nugget days.
I can't believe that Cleveland's even in this game, but they've done it at the expense of George Karl's receding hairline, because here's Cleveland that's 5 for 5 from behind the three-point arc in this fourth quarter alone. But sadly, Cleveland, the worst free throw shooting team in the entire NBA. They've missed their last 3. They've missed 8 on the night, and in a game that looks like it's going to go right down to the wire. And if you're trying to be the best team in your conference, you cannot survive by being the worst free throw team in the entire NBA.
Well, Denver has 6 turnovers here in the fourth quarter that have led directly to Cleveland points. And you see J.R. Smith, their shot selection has been poor. J.R. Smith out of the game for a quick three-pointer that he took just a minute ago.
Daniel Marshall, a corner 3, is deflected by Nene, who was out there on defense. And Diawara did a good job on LeBron. Camby, Nene, dunk. 9-point game, as good as Nene has looked in the last month. Daniel Gibson, the rookie, big three-point shooter in college. Missed it. Damon Jones couldn't keep it alive. DOR did the right thing. Got it to Iverson.
Nice job by George Karl to get J.R. Smith out of the game. How about Nene, though, getting it done on both ends of the court? He blocks the shot. The run out here, that's Donyell Marshall. That guy is 6'11". And then at the other end of the court, a beautiful layoff by Marcus Camby and the throwdown. Nene barely able to get above the rim. The old James Donaldson pulled the rim down to be able to get it through.
I'm sure James appreciated that watching tonight. Iverson knocks down that free throw. Speaking of the former Dallas big man.
You said it earlier, Nene does look better than he did last week. And he did get up. He missed a dunk last week, as a matter of fact. And that time, not quite as high as he's used to, but at least it's up over the rim finally.
He's missed 3 dunks tonight. Iverson at the 4-2 with his bounce.
He was fouled a couple times, though, right?
Denver, 21 of 23 from the line. As you see, Cleveland, with their free throw shooting, has not helped to get back here tonight. James on the take is fouled.
When DOR comes out and does a nice job of putting full court pressure on LeBron, don't gamble. Just play position. You know you got to retreat. But you're up there, and all of a sudden, LeBron just explodes right by you. And then Marcus Camby, a supreme shot blocker in this league, 4th in the NBA overall.
You got to give LeBron some space. Not a good three-point shooter. He's only taken 1 tonight. He's just 9 of 23 from the field. Give him some space. Make him shoot jump shots. His ability to get to the basket is he's as good as anybody in this league. So give him some space.
Our statistician Marty Aronoff reminds us the Cavs have missed their last 4 free throws. Until that one. It's 10 with 2 to go. Denver, interesting in these situations where usually you'd see a team be more deliberate and offense take some time off the shot clock. The last few possessions, they just took it and ripped right to the rim and get to the line. And that is the way this team's going to play. They will be a high wire act throughout the winter. Iverson losing it, and here comes James. Don't have to force a 3 here, just get on the board. Damon Jones ran to the line. Rimmed it out. It falls to Camby.
Cleveland is treating this three-point line like the electric
fence. Right, the electric fence, yes. Back to the animal loving tonight, Bill. Camby, 26 and 15 boards on the night.
Does Steve Blake's dogs have the invisible fence?
Blake a 3. Rebound by James. Tries to protect it. He gets the 10th rebound, trying to draw the foul. That's his first triple-double of the year. 10th of his career. Got DOR in the air and gave it to Marshall. Rare that you see Donyell take a straight-on 3. His usually come from the corner. Final minute, 10-point game, and the Nuggets in good shape now to get win 19 on the year, and the fans come to their feet. And this place could become one of the most fun places in the NBA the next time the Nuggets pull on the home whites. When Carmelo Anthony returns from the suspension on Monday, and you get 2 legit all-star performers in Iverson and Anthony, with a coach who likes to let his guys freeform and go do it.
They're liable to score 140 that night against Memphis.
The way Memphis is playing.
Swear, yeah.
Memphis is scoring a bunch, and they're letting you score a bunch.
I'm telling you, Carmelo is going to be foaming at the mouth to get back.
Tony Baroni, at the behest of Jerry West, has opened things up. Says, hey, let's get going.
Well, they're so far back now, they have no chance.
LeBron's night is done, guys. 30 points, 10 boards, 10 assists, 12 of 14 from the line.
And basketball fans around the world can only hope that ankle's not going to stiffen up tonight and limit his performance in the Bay Area, his one night of the year in the Golden State.
Jones a 3. I think you're going to see more Daniel Gibson as this season goes on here for the Cavs, who will fall to 23 and 16 and allow Washington to equal Cleveland for the best record in, John will use a golf term, the B flight. That's what the Eastern Conference is right now. It's
the B flight. Yes. The JV, as Stephen A. likes to call them. I don't like.
B flight's a little cleaner. It's less demeaning.
Hey, they're still NBA players.
And the playoffs are going to be very competitive in these.
Impressive back-to-back victories for the Denver Nuggets. Yep. Go on the road, have a great win at Portland, the huge third quarter, come out from start to finish, totally controlling this game tonight.
Gibson blows the dunk at the end. The margin is 11. George Karl gets a win, his 803rd as a head coach over the team he's got his head coaching start with. Here's Kara Lawson with Allen Iverson. Kara.
Allen, Cleveland makes a run at you in that fourth quarter. How are you able to stem that tide?
Just keep playing. I think we stopped doing the things that we were doing in the first half and at the beginning of the third quarter, and it caught up to them. But you got to take your hat off to those guys, too. I mean, LeBron stepped his game up, and his teammates followed right behind him, and they played a good second half. Fortunately, we just got the win.
What is it about this system and playing with these guys that has made it so easy a transition for you on the offensive end?
I think not taking away from anything, any of those guys in Philly, but the talent level is a lot better, I think, and I think the system is a lot better. You know, we get out and run, and we utilize our strengths, and that's what's going to make us a better team, especially when Melo come back.
Thanks, Allen. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Kara. Great working with you here tonight. So the Nuggets get the win. They head to Houston on the second end of a back-to-back. Cleveland goes to Golden State. Marcus Camby, a season-high 26 points, 17 rebounds. Iverson at 25 and 9. James, his first triple-double of the year in a losing cause, 110-99. What a good night to start a great weekend of sports. All those conference championship games. Can you imagine if the Saints go against the Colts in the Super Bowl? Well, the guys will tell you who they think is going to win on SportsCenter coming up next. With John Barry, Bill Walton, Kara Lawson, Mike Tirico. Good night from Denver. SportsCenter starts now.